Joe Rogan is now in his new studio. And in one of his recent podcast episodes, he actually has offered to moderate a debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Now, Joe Rogan has been quite the critic of Joe Biden and specifically when it comes to his cognitive health. And he says that Joe Biden is suffering from cognitive decline. A lot of people saying that the debates are going to save Trump from what seems like a polling hole that he's in right now. But I want you to hear out Joe Rogan and him explaining how he would set up this debate. Check it out.
Would you do a debate?
Would I?
Yeah, if like another problem I have with
if I had to do a debate?
No, not you debating somebody.
I'd prepare like a motherfucker.
I know you would. You'd be fun to watch. But you be the control mechanism to the candidates, like a Biden-Trump debate with Joe Rogan hosting. Your questions.
I would want that. First of all, I'd want no one else in the room.
Just the
three
people?
of us.
Cameras so we can record the
yeah, just the three of us. And you would have to stream it live so no one can edit it.
No.
And I would want them in there for hours.
And ideas, we get to hear what they actually believe in, what they're going to do, who they're going to appoint, what judges are going to be coming in, what policies from gun control to all of it.
Yes.
Why can't we have that?
We should have that. This is 2020. I mean, we have the ability to have that. We're not talking about 1979. We're talking about 2020. If they wanted to do that, they both wanted to come here in Austin, sit down, and have a debate, I would 100% do it.
My God.
I would 100% do it.
It'd be amazing.
It would be the best way to find out, but I don't think that Biden can handle it. I think Biden is people get mad at me for saying this. I think there's something wrong, and I don't think there's something wrong because I'm guessing or because I'm pro-Trump. I've seen him fall apart. I've seen him
just talking.
He's had multiple brain surgeries.
Yeah.
So Joe Rogan has actually talked about for quite a while about how he doesn't like debates with audiences, and the reason why he says he doesn't like debates with audiences is because it opens up for those people to grandstand, which is definitely very true. People will basically just say things to try to pander to the crowd to get cheers and things of that nature. So what he wants to do is he wants to get those two and him in one room, have a live stream going of the debate, and also going for hours, he says. I don't know if he means 3 hours. I don't know if he means 4 or 5. I'm assuming he probably means 3 hours. Now, debates used to be a bit different than they are now, although they were kind of similar, but it's more of that fashion in the past. Now, typically the debates run about an hour and 30 minutes, but I don't know how much of that typically is commercial time. Honestly, when you probably come down to it, there's probably an hour or less of total debating. And so this would be definitely a very different format. Now, I don't think that Joe Biden or really Donald Trump is going to be... I mean, Donald Trump may be more up for it because he likes to talk, and he talks a lot. Honestly, to the point where I think it actually is detrimental to him, where he talks too much. One of those examples would be his speech at the RNC on the final day. He kind of just droned on for a long time. You have to be concise. You can't just keep droning on forever. Joe Biden doesn't talk at all because he's doing the hiding strategy, because obviously anytime he speaks he completely implodes every time because of his cognitive decline, so he's not going to be up for this either. But it would certainly be pretty historic, I would say, especially if they go on the Joe Rogan podcast. You would have to get both parties to accept this debate. Now, the only way I would possibly see this happening, not that it's not that it's really a likely outcome, but the only way I would possibly see this is, one thing I've seen from Joe Biden is, he says he's excited to debate Donald Trump. He says he's excited to put his brain to the test against Donald Trump. He thinks that he's going to prove that Donald Trump's brain is the one that's in cognitive decline and not working. So maybe off that confidence or whatever he has, maybe he would be down to do something like this. But his handlers, his people would never ever allow him to do that, ever. His people would not allow him to do it because they know that he would implode, even though Joe Biden most likely seems to think that, he would defeat Donald Trump handily in a debate like that. So it definitely seems to be the case that this is obviously not really something that's likely in any way, but if it were to happen, it would certainly be historic. Now, the reason why these kinds of debates don't typically happen, it's typically not beneficial to the candidates really in any way. People have very short attention spans, and an hour 30 debate where it's like you're probably debating just for like an hour when you count in commercial breaks and breaks, um, you know, it's more marketable that way. People have really short attention spans, and so for someone to really sit through a 3 hour debate or even watch any of a 3 hour debate is going to be, pretty difficult. But it would, if Joe Rogan is moderating that debate, I really don't think he would be able to moderate that debate without heavy preparation. Because they're going to get heated. Joe Biden and Donald Trump would get pretty heated and yelling at each other in a pretty, this is heavy stuff, obviously. So I think he might be a little bit over his head on this one as well. I don't know if he'd be able to take moderating that debate. It'd be a pretty hefty job. I think this isn't something where it's just between two people. This is some heavy stuff. This is for the presidency, obviously. And we know how crazy Donald Trump gets. And then we also know how crazy Joe Biden gets, calling people dog-faced pony soldiers and, just all that kind of stuff. So I think he's a little over his head on this one, but it would definitely be very interesting to see. I don't think it's going to happen, obviously, but it would nonetheless be pretty fascinating to see if something like this would ever actually come to fruition.